Those things cause wounds. Those wounds heal into scars. So a lot of the inspiration behind the t-shirt themes at Fuel Hunt are from my scars and our scars. Those scars become sketches, and ultimately those sketches become strength.
Welcome to the Fuel Hunt Show.
What's going on, Eagles? It's Joey. I'm here with Drew. We are co-founders of Fuel Hunt, and this is the Fuel Hunt Show. What are we doing on this show? I'm taking my job back.
You got
Last
it.
episode,
you
almost took my job. I'm going to take my job back. On this show, we do three things. We help you strengthen your brain, strengthen your body, and strengthen your business so that you can strengthen yourself, because a strong self leads to a strong society. And we need that. We need that to restore the dignity of hard work, right? Mm-hmm. All right. We've got a couple different formats. Today is our first community Q&A format. I'm excited for it.
We got enough questions to do a few more episodes already. So.
We did. Speaking of questions, so we put a poll out on our stories at Fuel Hunt. We also put polls on our personal stories on Instagram to gather some questions, what you want to know from the few. We'll continue to do that. You can either email us, DM us at Fuel Hunt, or respond to one of those stories to get your question answered live
or text
right
us.
Here. Or text us. Yes. SMS?
Yes.
SMS?
I'm on there.
Yeah. So bring the questions. We have the answers. We'll bring them to the show.
Yep.
All right. So let's dive in. We got 3 questions today, 3 great questions from the community. First question is from community member Sean, and this is a hard hitter. I figure we start with something that hits hard, right? What motivates you when you are down? So I'll turn it over to you. Yeah.
I think you would expect a long, drawn-out, deep answer to this, but for me personally, when I'm down or I feel I have the thought of mailing it in that day, right? I just remember that I'm letting down all those people that believe in me. And I think I posted that on my personal once, but when you're not giving 100% to your life, to your business, to your relationships, you're letting down all the people that chose to have your back when you needed it most and when you were at a point in your life where you needed it. So when I'm down, I do it for them, right? I do it for the people that believe my wife, my son, our community members. I just know there's people out there that need us.
It sounds like when you're down, and down can mean many different things. Like you said, mailing it in, right? You just have one of those days, maybe you didn't sleep well, and you're like, you know what, I don't have the energy today, right? Down could mean something much more serious. Down could mean that you're struggling with something physically or mentally, right? That's bigger than just a low energy day. But it sounds like when you're down, whatever type of down it is, it sounds like you flip a switch from down to duty. At least that's what it sounds like, right? Where you're saying, look, like I have the duty to deliver, right? And deliver means show up as my best self, protect and provide my family, grow the community and support our community members. You have a duty to do those things. So you're making that switch from down to duty.
Correct.
That's what it sounds like.
That was a much better way of putting what I just said, yeah.
I'm here to listen.
That was well.
I'm here to listen.
I'll replace my answer with you, right?
I'm here to listen and make sure that I understood, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I think that's a powerful switch to make, a very powerful switch, because, you know, a lot of times when you're down, the last thing you think of is really service to others, right? But I think there's something really powerful there. You feel a certain way, right? But you're shifting it to, well, how do others feel in this moment?
Yep.
You know what? They might be down too, and I have the tools, or I have the platform, or, you know, I have it deep down inside of me to deliver for them and serve them.
And I think a lot of the members of the few, if not all of them, feel as though they're the leader in their community. They're the leader of their family, and they have to show up for other people, not just themselves.
Yep. Yeah, I actually, we did an episode recently, what does Fuel Hunt mean to you? And in one of the responses, a community member said that it's my responsibility to lead the flock, right? To lead the pack and make sure that the pack strengthens and make sure that the pack survives. So that's definitely something in the few that that a lot of members feel that they're responsible, and it's really no surprise because what's one thing that runs through the few, tried and true, is personal accountability, right? So that personal accountability overflows. Like when you're personally accountable in your life for everything and you own everything, that ownership overflows, and then you start to see yourself accountable for those around you and those you love. So that's a great answer. When I'm down, again, so you said, hey, maybe you won't expect a long answer. I don't think that many people will expect the answer that I'm about to give. Nothing motivates me when I'm down. Absolutely nothing. And I think it's because a long time ago, I stopped believing in motivation. I just stopped.
Yeah.
And this isn't one of those, for me personally, I know, on the interwebs and on social, I don't know, what do they say? They say like, it's not about motivation. Here I am, my voice again, my thing. It's not about motivation, it's about discipline or whatever thing is. This isn't one of those types of things. I gave up believing in motivation a long time ago because it's fleeting. It's not something that should be a required ingredient in your life because it's unreliable, it's fleeting. Many times people look for motivation externally when they have all the power internally within themselves, right? So I stopped believing in motivation, and I'm not shitting on Sean's question here. Sorry, Sean. I'm not shitting on your question. Nothing motivates me. I stopped believing in motivation. What I believe in are two other things, and that's work and belief. Those two things. I think life is a roller coaster, man. Business is a roller coaster, but let's zoom out, right? Entrepreneurship is a roller coaster, but let's zoom out. Life is a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Ups and downs. And it's like one of those Johns like that is like Sidewinder.
You just said John?
I did.
I think you need to clarify what that word means. I think a lot of people are not gonna.
We're we're episodes deep in the Fuel Hunt Show. I've never used the word John before on the air.
It just hit you said it, I was like, oh my God.
Okay. So a John is any person, place, or thing. Fair enough? And it is a uniquely Philly word. And I feel as though I've disgraced my city by not using the word John sooner on in this show. But look, I mean, how many in? What are we, 8, 10? I don't know. At least it happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we got John out of the way.
Yeah.
Very astute call out there. I appreciate it. So like I was saying, life is a roller coaster. There are many ups and downs. And it's one of those types of roller coasters, not John's, types of roller coasters. It's like the Sidewinder, or what are some of those roller coasters from back in the day?
Yeah.
Where
the Gravitron. But.
No, yeah, not the Gravitron. It whips you around, and there's more downs than ups. I really feel as though most people in life on that roller coaster ride experience more downs than ups. And I think that's why Sean's asking this question.
Yeah.
What motivates you when you're down? Because he's riding the roller coaster just like we all are.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing that has ever helped me on that ride is the process. Having a daily process of work that instills belief in me, that instills worth in me. Because I know on a daily basis, if I do this process every day without quit consistently, that it's not the end. This down isn't the end. And there's an up in sight because I trust that doing this process will see me through the down, and then I'll start the upward climb again on the roller coaster.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
100%.
Yeah. That's why, I just stopped believing in motivation. The process for me, I think the process for everybody on a daily basis is different, probably. The process for me is daily attack plan. I mean, that's my process. It's been that way for 20 years.
When you introduced me to daily attack plan too, it allowed me to it's a freeing methodology and tool to planning your day. Like if you don't want to be like the guy that says, oh, like 10 a.m. I'm here, 12 p.m. I'm there. Knowing your 5 critical tasks sets up your entire day for success.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do that as well. I do time box. And I think, if you're an entrepreneur and you're not time boxing, please do it immediately. Protect your time and value your time, and make sure that your most creative time is used when your brain is most creative, and, all that good stuff. Daily attack plan is, I guess, maybe bit of a higher level than that.
The next step, maybe.
Yeah, higher level up above that. But the theory for those of our listeners, those in the community, and our viewers that aren't familiar with daily attack plan, basically has 3 components. It's the few energy in a day, basically. So it's got the grit, the gratitude, and the go, right? They're the 3 components of my daily process that picks me up when I'm down. If we go backwards, because you mentioned it, we'll start with the go first. 3 or 5, or if I'm feeling chippy, 10 daily tasks that I know I need to get done in that day to see me through the down.
Critical tasks.
To see me through the down, so that I know at the end of the day, I instill belief in myself that everything's going to be okay. It's not the end. You know what I mean? That's the go part. The gratitude part, there's a gratitude exercise built into daily attack plan. Everybody's gratitude exercises are different. There's a little exercise built into daily attack plan. My gratitude exercise, I've explained it before. I send voice notes and emails to my daughters. I created email accounts for them, and I'll turn those email accounts over to them when they're 18. And they're going to have, 18 years of voice memos, videos, and emails from me with life lessons, with memorable events, memorable things we've done together, with milestone achievements, all recorded in the moment. And that really helps me dial up my gratitude for the day, because my children are blessings to me. And if I can dial up the gratitude that I have for my blessings, guess what else happens? I dial up the gratitude that I have for my challenges, right? It overflows.
Grateful for it all.
So that's the second component. And the first component is grit. And we talked about this recently. Like, I have a very terse, short definition of grit. And grit is the opposite of quit. Like, many people are like, oh, it's this thing and it's the willingness to be under it. I get all that. But mine's very simple. Grit is the opposite of quit. So part of the process here that I do on a daily basis is staying consistent, not quitting. That's a grit angle. So a little bit of a long answer, but that's what I do when I'm down, the process. But guess what? I do it when I'm up too. And that's the magic in it, because all of that work instills belief and worth. And then the downs aren't so deep in the darkness. You know what I mean? And the ups are higher towards the light. That's what I do. So, Sean, thank you for your question. I hope that, and I trust that answered it. If it didn't, Drew's in the DMs. DM him at Fuel Hunt on Instagram, especially if you're in a down moment and you just need an ear, someone to listen and help. We're here for you. If you don't get Drew in the DMs, email me, joey@fuelhunt.com. So thanks again for your question, Sean. Let's go to the next question. This is from Teresa, one of my very favorite. Can I play favorites?
No,
I can't do that. No. One of my favorite Fuel Hunt Rise community members. So Fuel Hunt Rise, for those of you that don't know, is our private community. On Instagram, at Fuel Hunt is our public community. Fuel Hunt Rise is our private community. More connection between members.
Guest speakers. We have guest speakers come in for our members. We do socials. We have a weekly accountability call. You also get, with Fuel on Rise, a bunch of great gear benefits, discounts on gear, access to early releases, all this good stuff is going on in Fuel Hunt Rise. So Teresa chimed in on Fuel Hunt Rise, one of the posts that I put up in there for this episode. And her question was, where do you get your inspiration from for your t-shirt themes? So this is one I'll take first, if you don't mind. So as with, I think, all members of the Few, you, me, Brianna's here somewhere.
There she is back there. As with all members of the few, we've gone through some shit. Like in not even trying to mince words. We've just been through some shit in life, right? Those things cause wounds. Those wounds heal into scars. So a lot of the inspiration behind the t-shirt themes at Fuel Hunt are from my scars and our scars. Those scars become sketches, and ultimately those sketches become strength, because those sketches become designs that are put on t-shirts, and those t-shirts are worn by the few, and the few strengthen themselves when they wear those shirts in the gym, at the office, at home, in life. So they're very personal. And I don't know if we've done an excellent job, or I don't know if I've done an excellent job of explaining all of the personal reasons behind some of the designs, the inspiration. We'll get there eventually, you know what I mean? But they're very real. And I think that's why when you wear a Fuel Hunt t-shirt, you feel the emotion. I'm a big energy transfer guy, you know what I mean? And I feel like books have energy, for example. You know what I mean? If somebody's very passionate about what they're writing about, and they have the intention to do good, right, and uplift the reader, you're going to feel energy from that book.
Oh, yeah.
That energy of the few, you feel it when you wear a Fuel On t-shirt. It's authentic.
I would say it's not what you wear, it's who you are when you wear it. And that's why people wear Fuel Hunt.
Right. It makes them feel empowered, strong, right? It makes them feel bigger than their circumstances. It makes them just feel bigger generally in a world that's trying to make them feel smaller.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we say it all the time, like, more than clothing.
Yep.
And this is part of the reason. And if we can touch on entrepreneurship for a little bit as it relates to this, do you see apparel, do you see t-shirts out there that are attempting to emulate what we're doing with Fuel Hunt?
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't knock anybody's hustle. Like, get it. But to all the entrepreneurs out there, a word of advice. I see some of these t-shirts and it's clip art, right? From Canva, and it's a saying that doesn't make sense, or they saw somewhere that they just decided to put on the shirt. There's no emotion in it and authenticity. So if you're out there and you're an entrepreneur and you're building something and you're creating something, we're rooting for you, but please imbue it with emotion and meaning.
Intention
And
is the big thing we talk about with our employees too. Like VIA, which you came up with another one of your framework. I won't even take credit for it, but vision, intention, and action. So before you do anything in business and in life, you should have all three things.
Yep.
I will say the reason I believe it hits us so hard personally, when we do see those imitators, there's always haters, fakers, and imitators, right? So when we see someone out there imitating us, it strikes a little deeper because we spend so much in vision, intention, and action on creating these things. They're not just clip art thrown with a fancy saying. They're our pain put onto paper.
Yep.
And we toiled before a shirt gets released, we've been working on it for months. Some of them have sat and been worked on for years. And for someone to come and try and compete with us or imitate us with a lesser version of something that we work so hard on is truly offensive.
Yeah.
I will say, if I can answer the question, the line I get to work on the most, personally, is with my friend Sean Brady over there, in this shirt right here. But all that inspiration comes from mantras that hold true to us that I think embody Sean Brady's values and work ethic. One that not many people have, and you may have never seen, paired with his love for the martial arts and the Japanese roots, and it's one of my favorite projects to work on
Yep.
in what we do.
Yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head, you know, especially with showing stuff like via another framework, like you said, vision, intent, and action. Like when we create something, we know how we want our community members to feel when they wear it. Like we have a vision. Before I put this tablet here is where I sketch. Before this pen hits this tablet, right? I already have a vision for how I want the community member to feel. And many times that vision is rooted in, you know, a scar that I have or a scar that a community member has, a story that they went through, a story that started with trauma, pain, risk, fear, but ended with success, learning, wisdom. That vision component is so important. I think that's what people are missing. And then the intention flows through from it and the action. You know what I mean? I'm going to put this thing in this spot. I'm going to arrange the mantra in this way. It's all intentional action to make sure that at the end of the day, our community member feels exactly the way we want them to feel, empowered, energetic, right? When they wear it. So I think it's safe to say, based on everything we just said, I think it's safe to say that a lot goes into what we do here. And there's a lot of Mona Lisas that are still hanging around. A Mona Lisa meaning I'm a big Da Vinci guy.
Yeah.
Da Vinci never finished the Mona Lisa. He carried it around for forever, for years. There's some of those that we have at Fuel Hunt because we're still dialing in that vision. We still want to make sure that we hit the mark completely so that when our community member puts it on, they feel exactly how we want them to feel so they can strengthen themselves and ultimately strengthen society.
Yep.
So, Teresa, great question. I appreciate you, and I will see you at the next social, which I believe is the first Sunday in December. I think that's the 3rd. The 3rd. December 1st is a Friday, I think. So, December 3rd.
Yeah.
So, I'll see you at the next social. All right. Third and final question here. Again, from a Fuel Hunt Rise Eagle, again, one of my favorites. Evelyn, she asks, and this is more of an entrepreneurship question. She asks, what is your favorite thing and your least favorite thing about operating a business? You want to take that one first?
Yeah. Quite simply, there's a lot of suck in the entrepreneur life. However, you learn to love it. You learn to love the pain and all of the ups and downs that are entrepreneurship. So I mean, I wouldn't trade my worst day as an entrepreneur for the best day as an employee, and that's just me personally speaking for myself. But my favorite part, and I think I always say this to people, but it's not like we're selling dishwashers, right? Like my favorite part of being an entrepreneur is we've built something that we believe in and truly changes lives.
Yeah.
And when you're truly passionate about what you do and you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. I didn't want to say that.
I know it's cliche, but it's true.
Yeah,
it's
that is true.
What we've done is we've started a business that aligns with the impact that we want to have on the world. And that's amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's nothing against people's dishes being really
nothing
clean.
against dishwasher salesmen either.
Nothing against it. But we've created a business that aligns with the impact that we want to have on the world, and that's like the magical intersection, I think, of the productivity side of business and the purpose side of life. Like it's that magical intersection. What do you think?
However, if we're keeping it real for a sec,
Yep.
Managing cash flow
Yeah.
might be the least favorite part.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I think we both, if we had to pick something, I think we'd both say like the the numbers, the back office number stuff, and I think that's because both you and I are very we're
Marketing.
people.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? We're people. Like, we
Yeah.
want to serve people. We want to, find our people in the market
Connect.
and then blow everybody else out of the water with the value that we provide to them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're
Not numbers people.
people centric. We're not necessarily numbers people. Yeah. I'm really not a numbers guy. Math isn't my strong suit. So, you said something about like learning to love. You learn to love it. Why do you think that is? On like a human level, like a deeper level. Why do you think it is that you learn to love the pain, the challenges that come with
I
entrepreneurship?
think it goes back to being one of the few, right? Like, you may not be an entrepreneur, but you love the pain of working out, ice bathing, doing the hard work, doing things that are uncomfortable for other people, right? Like, it's not about battering yourself, it's about bettering yourself. So
yeah.
you know that when you're doing all this hard shit, you're truly becoming a better version of yourself.
Yeah.
So I know that by withstanding the storms of entrepreneurship, I'm truly building something great.
Yep. In yourself and within the business.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah, I would agree. It's always interesting. Like, I used to say, for the love of growth, right? Like, we make at Fuel Hunt, we make gear for growth. Fucking point blank period. That's what we make. And I always used to say that, I learned to love the sucky parts of entrepreneurship for the love of growth, but I don't really think it's the growth anymore. I think it's the process, like really what it is, because and you tell me if you feel this way, but we've climbed a lot of mountains in our days, the metaphorical mountains in entrepreneurship, and the top to me never felt as great as the climb.
No.
And that's why, I think it's a proverb. They say, behind mountains are more mountains. I feel like that's how entrepreneurs operate, right? You climb that mountain and then you're like, all right, where's the next peak? All right, there you go.
Our friend Joe DeSena on the Few Want Rise call,
Yep.
I said, out of all I asked him a question. I said, he's done a lot of hard shit. Yeah, I did a rod, climb out, like literally, like he's done a lot of. I created the Spartan race, which is
I
hard.
was gonna say, yep.
So he's done it all, and I said, what's harder, the hardest thing you did to challenge yourself or entrepreneurship? And he said entrepreneurship any day. And he said entrepreneurship feels like you're climbing a mountain, and you just constantly are getting knocked off. And when you get to the top, you're knocked off again.
Well, Bedros and Di say the same thing. They have that bear, right? And I love that analogy. Like, I remember Di telling us about it when we were at their house for dinner the first time. Like, you're climbing the mountain, and every so often you encounter the bear, and the bear is there to basically make sure that you topple down the mountain. You have to break through the bear to get to the next level, and then you see the next bear and the next bear. I love those analogies.
And realistically, if you're doing it right, in my opinion, like, you don't really feel like you ever reach the top. Like, there is no pinnacle. It's like you have to actually take a second and be like, whoa, wait a second, we did that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, I think that entrepreneurship is one of the most effective, and I'm not saying everybody's cut out for it, because they're not. No. And that has nothing to do with worth. It's just how personal preference, how people want to live their lives. But I used to say entrepreneurship, and I still believe this, is probably the most effective self-development program ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
I would agree.
As long as you're all in on it. The most effective self-development program ever. Yeah. All right, so you learned to love it. We kind of touched on, maybe if we had to pick something we didn't like, it was maybe the back office. Favorite thing about it? Is that your learn to love, or what?
No, building something you're proud of, right? Your impact. Your
impact.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, my answer to this question is similar to yours. I don't really think that I have a least favorite thing. Like, sure, you could push me to pick one, but at the end of the day, if I'm going through my journey, my daily journey as an entrepreneur, and there's something that I don't feel like doing, it's more so because I'm not dialed personally. Like, I'm vibrating lower. I'm feeling low vibration feelings and not high vibration feelings. So for me, if I do encounter something during the day and I feel that way, I just use it as an opportunity to step back and detach, breathe a second, and say like, okay, there's a reason you're feeling this way.
Yeah.
And it may be because you're fearing the outcome, you're fearing the details, you're fearing the risk. Like there's something. It's not that you don't like it, because I love this game, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like I love this game. I started my first business young, and then once I exited that, I went back inside as an employee because I love my team and I had a lot of purpose there. It wasn't for anything other than that. But I went back inside, man. And then I had to quit again. So like I was an entrepreneur, right? Then I went inside as an employee. Then I had to quit again to do this with you. You know what I mean? So I love this game, man. Like I learned a lesson there that like I can't take this game out of me. It's like the streets out here. Like I can't take them out of me. Like they're in me.
Yeah.
So I can't say that I don't love a part of it because the journey, that'd be like taking a, an ATV up the mountain. You know, it just dilutes the journey. You got to feel the pain, you know what I mean? And all the parts of the process.
100%.
Favorite thing, if I had to pick a favorite thing, like I said, I love this game, but if I had to pick a favorite thing, Evelyn said operating a business. We're looking at maybe like entrepreneurship really and parlaying it to what we're doing here with Fuel Hunt. My favorite thing, hands down, is speaking to members of the community. I don't get the opportunity to do that in person often, but over email, hands down.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, the exchanges that I've had with community members over the past 4 years, because we didn't have email when we first started, like idiots. Fucking idiots. Such idiots. That's my low vibration speed.
Would you put connecting over creating?
Hands down.
The shirts and battle flags that our community members wear on their backs on a daily basis. Like you're having conversations with them daily, whether you know it or not.
Yeah, that's very good. It's a very good question, a very good point. If I was to answer your question, I would put connecting with them over creating, because the connection feeds the creation. Like I said earlier, like all of the creation comes from scars to sketches to strength, and like connecting with them, I start to learn about their scars.
Yep.
So I would definitely put connecting over creating, but hands down, point blank, period, connecting with the community over email. And I hope, you know, I send an email out like, what does Fuel Hunt mean to you? And I get hundreds of responses. I have a vision, going back to vision and intent and action, where those 100 responses, 200 responses, 300 responses are actual conversations that we're having here. Because on a daily basis, the community power hour that we have, which is fledgling right now, is much bigger. And we have community members coming through every day, all day, or maybe during specific hours so that we can actually scale and build the community. But coming through and having those conversations in person and exchanging the few energy with them in person. So that's the vision that I have.
The house of hard work.
The house of hard work, man. The house of hard work. We've put it all out there, and we have community power hour going on right now. You know, it just happens once every few weeks. One community member today, actually, there's a Rocky run in Philly. So Trevor is another Fuel Hunt Rise member. Trevor is going to be coming through to say hello today, which is cool. I am so eager to be connecting like that on a large scale, you know, in the future. So, all right, we didn't get to all of the questions. There are a lot. There's questions around more entrepreneurship related questions that we can touch on in the future. There's questions around athlete and ambassador positions in the community. There's questions around manufacturing and why we chose to be 100% tried and true American made. There's questions about you and your story. There's questions about me and my story personally. We're going to get to all those in future episodes. of community Q&A. But today I wanted to hit these three questions. So let's tie this up here. Let's talk about an ask for the community, right? Let's talk about an ask. If this inspired you to grow, please share the show, please. One of the most effective ways that we've scaled and grown our community and our impact in society is by word of mouth. So if this inspired you to grow, please share the show. Welcome a friend into our community, into the few, by sharing this episode with them. And always remember, choose effort over entitlement. Choose hard work over handouts. No one owns you. No one owes you. You're one of the few. So let's go.